Father Stephen Rossetti says strange demonic invasions are happening around the world. The exorcist priest tells the harrowing story about a recent demonic attack called the Devil's Maze. K, the letter K is used to shield the identity, was getting increasingly depressed. She was mentally going downhill and showed concerning signs. Her family wisely intervened to keep her comfortable. But she continued to sink into a hopeless darkness. Kay texted me and described it. I was locked in a maze. People get trapped there, I was stuck. I never felt so dark, alone and sad. It was a maze without an exit. She added, the only way out led me back to the same spot I was in. She couldn't get out. She couldn't eat and cried constantly. It was cold and dark and scary. Kay had a spiritual vision of many others stuck in their own mazes. I saw and heard souls weeping too. We were all in our own mazes. They were huge. She added that everyone was completely isolated from each other. I heard loud cries from all the others, and no matter how hard I tried, no one could hear me. The next day after our conversation, I personally began to feel depressed. This is uncharacteristic for me. It lasted for several hours. Finally, a light went on in my head. Aha, this may be something from Kay. Perhaps some of her demons are now attacking me. So, for several minutes I prayed, in Jesus' name, I command the demons of depression to leave. I said it over and over again. Then it lifted and I returned to normal. I prayed that this would be a grace for Kay and help her out of the darkness. The next day, I was in contact with Kay and asked her, "How are you?" She said she was out of the maze and doing fine. Her face was youthful looking and her eyes were bright. We held a very fruitful session on the great feast of the Immaculate Conception. Later, she thanked her family and the team, and the Virgin Mary for saving my life. While her symptoms were very typical of someone in a depression, the fact that it lifted dramatically in response to prayer suggests it had, at least partially, a spiritual origin. She herself was clear that the maze was one of Satan's tricks to lure souls into hopelessness. We thank Our Lady for a special grace that rescued her. Kay asked me, "You have to tell people about the maze, they get trapped there."